بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson, which is Unit 3 writing. And from the name itself, we'll be doing a lot of writing today. So before we do that, let's revise what we previously took. Work in pairs or groups. Think about a story you have heard or read about in an incident you have experienced where an animal helped a person. If you remember the stories, through this unit, we learned about stories about animals helping people, like the horse Thunder when he alerted the family about the earthquake, or the gorilla who helped the boy, or the dolphins who protected the man Todd when they circled around him. So we heard lots of stories about pets or animals helping humans. Also, we filled the chart with this chart place. If you remember, I've heard about this story, the place, Laura Jean house, people, Laura Jean and her husband. The animal was a parrot. The parrot alerted the family about the fire in their house, in the laundry room. The family got out safely and called the fire department, and they were really thankful to their pet parrot. So the conclusion, pet parrots or pets in general can alert you and sometimes saving your life. And then we learned about some fun facts here about dolphins. If you remember that they can swim up to 39 kilometers per hour and they live 40 to 50 years, and the bottlenose dolphins dive 390 meters. They can dive, and also they can jump 6 meters out of the water. And the largest dolphin is the orca or killer whale, even though it's called killer whale, but it's a dolphin. If you know it, the black and white dolphin, which is really a dolphin, not a whale. They can be 9 meters long. So jumping to today's lesson, the writing, the objectives to classify types of dolphins according to their food. So we'll be classifying types of dolphins according to what they eat, to their food. Indicate dolphins' special abilities. Differentiate between types of dolphins. Research a type of animal. So we'll be talking about dolphins. What do you know about dolphins? This is an interesting question. What do you know about dolphins? Do you have any information about dolphins? Do you know something? Yeah, so we know that they are friendly because sometimes we see people having fun with them in the maybe circus or some places like that. Just as we see in this picture, you can see here that they look like they are smiling. So we know that they are friendly. So I think to me that's all I know about dolphins. Also that I know that the orca is one of the most dangerous creatures in the sea, the orca dolphin or the killer whale. So exercise A here, work in pairs or groups. What do you know about dolphins? What would you like to find out about them? So this is an interesting question. What would you want to know about dolphins? Is there something specific that you want to know? The way they eat, the way they sleep, for example, and so on. Is there a specific information that you want to know about dolphins? Number 2 here, read the text and find out about the origin of dolphins, the origin of dolphins, types of dolphins and their eating habits, the bottlenose dolphin, special abilities dolphins have, their relationship with people. This is exercise 2. Exercise 3 here, read the text again. So we'll be reading the text 2 times and identify the topic of each paragraph. So be careful of each paragraph. Find out if you can reorder paragraphs. So pay attention to details, the information of each paragraph to see if you can reorder them. Decide if you like the way the text begins and ends. So let's stick to number 2 here. Read the text and find out about these information. The origin of dolphins, types of dolphins and their eating habits, the bottlenose dolphin, special abilities dolphins have, and their relationship with people. So this is the article here, all about dolphins. So all of today's lesson is about dolphins. So the article is called All About Dolphins. So let's listen, and then we will answer the questions in number 2, of course. Let's listen.
Dolphins are marine mammals that are claimed to have evolved from land mammals some 50 or 60 million years ago. Studies indicate that they are closely related to hippos, camels, and cows. There has been an unending debate on the exact origin of dolphins and whales that is likely to continue for years to come. There are 32 types of dolphins that live in salt water. Dolphins eat about 20 to 25 kilos of fish per day. Their eating habits vary depending on the area and the time of year. If there is an abundance of fish, they will happily consume as much as they need. Interestingly, dolphins regulate their food intake according to the fat content of the fish available, and their hunger. In this sense, they can probably control their food intake more efficiently than humans. Did you also know that their brains weigh more than ours? Dolphins can recognize themselves in a mirror, scan objects in the water using sonar, sleep with one eye closed, whistle and recognize each other by their whistles, go to a depth of about 260 meters. There is mutual interest between dolphins and people. They are as interested in observing us as we are in them. Dolphins love having fun, communicating, and playing. They are also keen on helping and supporting their own kind and other species that are in danger. The bottlenose dolphin is the most studied and familiar to people, with a life expectancy of about 40 to 50 years. Bottlenose dolphins show an extraordinary connection with humans and have rescued injured divers repeatedly. These wonderful creatures deserve our admiration and respect and need to be protected.
So now that we have listened to the article, let's answer the questions in exercise 2. It says here, read the text and find out about the origin of dolphins, types of dolphins and their eating habits, the bottlenose dolphin. So let's begin with the first one here, the origin of dolphins, the story behind dolphins, their origin, the beginning. So it was in the beginning of the article, they talked about the origin of dolphins. So let's see the correct answer here. Read the text and find out the origin of dolphins. The origin of dolphins, marine mammals that are claimed to have evolved land mammals some 50 or 60 million years ago. So marine mammals, sea creatures, marine mammals that are claimed to have evolved from land mammals. So it's sea mammals that have originated from land mammals like hippos some 50 or 60 million years ago. So their origin is really old, 50 or 60 million years ago. Types of dolphins and their eating habits. Types of dolphins and their eating habits. So can you find it in the text? Types of dolphins and their eating habits. If you remember, the text talked about the eating habits of dolphins, which fish to eat, the fat content. So let's see here the answer. Types of dolphins, 32 types that live in salt water. Dolphins have 32 types that live in salt water. About the eating habits, 10 to 25 kilos of fish per day. They regulate their food intake according to the fat content of the fish and their needs. So dolphins also, like humans, watches their diet. If the fish has, the fat content in the fish will decide to eat it or not, the dolphins will decide to eat it or not according to the fat content of the fish. The bottlenose dolphin. The bottlenose dolphin, the dolphin that we all know. So Find out about it. So, the bottlenose dolphin, more familiar to people because we see it in the pictures. Life expectancy 40 to 50 years. Connection with humans, it has a positive connection with humans. Also rescued divers, just like in the story with Todd. Special abilities dolphins have. So the article also talked about special abilities that dolphins have. Like what? Yes, recognize themselves in a mirror. They scan using sonar. Sleep with one eye closed. Whistle, and they know their friends using the whistle and communicate through whistles. So they communicate with each other. Go to the depth of 260 meters. What about their relationship with people? The dolphins' relationship with people. Yes, the relationship with people, the connection with people, interested also in people, have rescued people repeatedly. So dolphins have rescued people repeatedly. So it has a connection with humans. Also, just like we know the story with Todd, when the dolphins circled around him and protected him. So number 3, read the text again. So we'll be reading it again. Identify the topic of each paragraph. So pay attention to each paragraph to identify the topic of this paragraph. Also number 2 here, find out if you can reorder paragraphs. To reorder paragraphs, the place of the paragraph. Can we change the first one for the second one, or the second one for the third one? Can we reorder the paragraphs? Yes or no? And the third one here, decide if you like the way the text begins and ends. So let's listen again to answer all of these 3 questions, especially, of course, the first question, the first one, to identify the topic of each paragraph. Let's listen again.
Dolphins are marine mammals that are claimed to have evolved from land mammals some 50 or 60 million years ago. Studies indicate that they are closely related to hippos, camels, and cows. There has been an unending debate on the exact origin of dolphins and whales that is likely to continue for years to come. There are 32 types of dolphins that live in salt water. Dolphins eat about 20 to 25 kilos of fish per day. Their eating habits vary depending on the area and the time of year. If there is an abundance of fish, they will happily consume as much as they need. Interestingly, dolphins regulate their food intake according to the fat content of the fish available, and their hunger. In this sense, they can probably control their food intake more efficiently than humans. Did you also know that their brains weigh more than ours? Dolphins can recognize themselves in a mirror, scan objects in the water using sonar, sleep with one eye closed, whistle and recognize each other by their whistles, go to a depth of about 260 meters. There is mutual interest between dolphins and people. They are as interested in observing us as we are in them. Dolphins love having fun, communicating, and playing. They are also keen on helping and supporting their own kind and other species that are in danger. The bottlenose dolphin is the most studied and familiar to people, with a life expectancy of about 40 to 50 years. Bottlenose dolphins show an extraordinary connection with humans and have rescued injured divers repeatedly. These wonderful creatures deserve our admiration and respect and need to be protected.
So now that we have listened again, identify the topic of each paragraph. The topic of each paragraph. So the first paragraph, of course, it's an introduction to know the animal, to know the dolphins. Paragraph 1, what are dolphins? Introduction of dolphins, of course. It's always, the first paragraph is always to introduce the topic. That's why we call it the introduction. What about the second paragraph? The second paragraph, so what's the topic here? So let's see the second paragraph. Dolphins and their eating habits. The eating habits of dolphins. what dolphins eat. So either you can say the eating habits of dolphins, or dolphins and their eating habits, or what dolphins eat. So paragraph 3. So paragraph 3, we have bullet points. If you remember, the third paragraph are bullet points. What dolphins can do, the incredible abilities of dolphins, or you can say, of course, super dolphins. You can put this as a topic, super dolphins, or what dolphins can do, or the incredible abilities of dolphins. What about the fourth paragraph, paragraph 4? So it was a single line, dolphins and people, the connection between dolphins and people. And paragraph 5, what dolphins like, the qualities of dolphins. So paragraph 5, what dolphins like and the qualities of dolphins. And of course, the sixth paragraph, the last paragraph, we always call it the conclusion. So the first paragraph always is called the introduction, and the last paragraph is called the conclusion. The writer's view and feelings towards dolphins, the writer's opinion of dolphins. So in a way, we can say that is the conclusion. So we have 6 paragraphs here. The first one is the introduction. The last one is a conclusion. And the second, third, fourth, and fifth, all are information about dolphins. So find out if you can reorder paragraphs other than the introduction and the conclusion, because you can't change the place of these paragraphs. Can you change the paragraphs inside the body itself? Can you change the paragraphs? Yes, of course you can, because they are not related to each other. Each paragraph has its own idea, its own topic about dolphins. So yes, we can reorder the paragraphs, only the body, of course, not the introduction and not the conclusion. Decide if you like the way the text begins and ends. Did you like the way how the text was introduced to you, the beginning and the ending? Of course, this is up to you. So choose a type of animal to research and write about. Use the KWL chart. We have a chart here to gather and recognize and organize your ideas. A, write what you already know about the animal in the K, know. So remember, choose a type of animal to research. So you will be doing a research about an animal. Choose the animal and fill the chart. K is to know column, and write what you want to know with W. So W, want to know column. This might include the origin, diet means what they eat, appearance or typical characteristics of the animal. C, research these questions in your library on the internet. Then write what you've learned. So L for learned column. Then write your essay. So write here, I know. So choose an animal. Maybe it's a dolphin, maybe it's a camel, a horse. Write what you know about this animal that you've chose, what you know in the K here, what you know in the K here, and W, what you want to know. More information that you want to learn. You want to know more about this animal. And after you've done your research and learned about this animal, fill here this L column, what you have learned about this animal. Then write about it, just like the example here, the peregrine falcon. I've always liked falcons. I think their speed, marksmanship, and strength are unmatched. I have particularly admired peregrines for their speed and hunting skills, but was not sure about their origin and habitat. It wasn't until I researched these incredible hunters that I discovered they could be found anywhere in the world. The peregrine is the world's most widespread bird of prey. The name of the species means wandering falcon, and so on. You can continue this about the falcons here, or the animal that you have chose. Moving on to the writing corner. When you write a descriptive essay about species, so this will help you. Try not to copy the information that you have found as it is. Don't copy it as it is. Read it, make notes, and rephrase. When you read it and you take your notes, rephrase in your own words. Don't copy it as is. Make the description more attractive for your reader. So know your audience to make your writing more attractive by adding personal feelings and opinions. Notice that when referring to the animal, you may repeat its name. Use a pronoun or a distinguishing feature. For example, these incredible hunters, or refer to it through its category, as is this bird, these creatures, etc. Select information that is genuinely interesting. So sometimes when you research about an animal, you'll find lots and lots of information. Choose the ones that are interesting. Don't choose some boring ones. Share your feelings. Remember to share your feelings, as in here, for example, your enthusiasm, your fondness, your interest with your reader. So share your feelings with the readers. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson. See you next lesson, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.